Okay, Shar Gilgulim, Shiur number 18. We are towards the end of the third Hagdama. Actually, I would say more like smack in the middle. And we were talking last week in the Shiur that in the Shar Gilgulim's vernacular, tikkun doesn't mean to fix an avera. Tikkun in Shar Gilgulim means to do mitzvot. That's how you're mitakin in neshama. And we explain that this is the source over here, how neshamot starts splitting, how souls start splitting. And we say, how does that happen? If a person is born with 600 sparks, let's say, 200 sparks, doesn't make a difference. Even 5 sparks he's born with. It means his soul is made up of 5. There could even be souls that are made up of half a spark, half a nitzot.
Pretty rare that you said.
In our generations, this could be more possible. Like the famous story we said in Minchat Yehuda.
But he davened for it.
Right, he davened for it. But he was originally 1 spark. Right? And we said that the more mitzvot you do, every spark in your neshama has a certain mitzvah that you need to do to fix it. Right? There's a certain part of your neshama that needs you to constantly do tefillin. Constantly. And if you miss one day of tefillin, you do a pegam. You understand? There's a part of your neshama that specifically needs you to do a mitzvah of brit milah for your son. And if you have a son and don't do a brit milah, then you missed out on it. Right? Every person, depending on what he missed out in his previous gilgul, those parts of his neshama have to come back in a gilgul. So if he did a tikkun / did mitzvot, he only did 100 out of 200 that he was supposed to do. And what comes back in a gilgul? Only the other 100.
So let's say this person has used Gilgul, he did feeling completely, and this Gilgul he messes up.
Yeah. We're going to learn that today, what happens. But we also said, what did we say? Let's say the parts of his neshama that he fixed. How did he fix them again? By doing mitzvot. Tikkun is what again? Doing mitzvot. But he did a light sin. A light sin. What does a light sin mean? A sin that's very easy to... Everyone does it. Like the Gemara says, Kulam be'hirur. Everyone has hirurim right. Or as the Chovat HaLevavot says, or the Ramchal says, 2 averot are the hardest ones. To love every Jew and not to hold a grudge on a Jew. 2 hardest. That's what he brings down in his Sefer. So let's say a person did this averot his whole life. It's not a pegam. He doesn't have to, you don't come back in a gilgul for that. You come back in what again? In a ibur. Right? But what's the thing now? He doesn't take part of the new body's averot. He just takes his mitzvot and they help each other out. Because the sparks of the soul. So let's write it on the board. Shimon was born with 200 sparks. Okay? He only fixed 100 out of 200. He did the mitzvah that he was supposed to do that pertained only to 100 out of 200. So he fixed 50%. Now those 100 that's left over go to where? Let's call it Reuven. So Reuven is now born with how many sparks? 100. Are they 2 different people or are they the same person? 2 different people. Why? Once the neshama splits, it's a new person. Even though you were originally inside Shimon, but it's a different person right now. That means you're going to see him in Tchat HaMetim. You're not going to be like, hey, how are you? How you doing? You're me. You know. He's he, and you're you. 2 different people. So it's a new body, Reuven. Now let's say those 100 that Shimon fixed from the 200, the ones that he fixed. Let's say he made a small avera his whole life and he blemished them a bit. For a blemish, you don't come back in a gilgul. Why? If you would have to keep on coming back for all the averot that you do, there would be no end to the world. Right? There would be no end. So what is Hashem? Hashem doesn't want to send you to Gehenom either. Why send the person to Gehenom bivdigi? Right? Suffer, this, that, for what? Like Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya says, Gehenom is a dry cleaning. It's a laundromat. You know? So what does he do? Those 100 that he fixed also go inside Reuven, but not as a Gilgul, as a Ibur.
Just one time. One life.
Depends on Reuven.
No, but they would have to go back. If he messes up the 100 again, they have to continue again.
Now, when Reuven does sins,
they don't get affected.
they don't get affected.
Right.
They don't get affected. But if he suffers in life, he falls and he breaks a leg. He hears bad news, he starts to cry. That also helps clean up Shimon. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so Reuven is working for free for Shimon? Well, it's not fair. Yeah, of course, they're from the same Shorosh Nishah. That's not fair. So what do we learn? He assists him too. He helps him. He wants him to do mitzvot. He's mitukan kvar, right? What's tikkun again, guys? Tikkun is doing mitzvot. Aseh, not lo ta'aseh. Okay? That's where we stopped.
So,
Yeah.
where do Lotas explain to this then?
We'll learn about it. What's this? Lo ta'aseh and aseh.
There's a lot of Lotas people are constantly over.
What?
Chilul Shabbat. Lotas.
Lo ta'aseh is on a higher level than aseh. Right? They're keneged yud k, and aseh is keneged vav k. The main tikkun is what? On the yud k or the vav k? On the vav k. L'shem yichud kudsha b'richu shchindeh. Not l'shem yichud abba v'ima ilayin. Right? We're trying to miyach it. What did Amalek make a pegam chas v'shalom in? In the vav k. Right?
Together, no? Well, Yud
Oh, yeah. But yud k, nobody could ever blemish. You can never separate yud k. It's zivuk tadir. It's a constant flow, or else the word will never be. Vav k, that's our job, please. Yeah, something sweet. Okay, so we're in page Nun Tet. We're continuing. Nun Zayin. In my book, it's Nun Zayin. Va'amnam. However, im hayta noteret chelegam ba'averot. If those 100 of Shimon that come inside Reuben would have also take part in the sins that the new body does, called Reuven, so that this new body is doing. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nהיה b'dvaro. Lo yeh le'olam. He's good. Lo yeh le'olam shum tikkun el nefesh. There's going to be no end, Arizal. No finishing to the tikkun. Why? Because if these 100 of Shimon keep on getting the sins of Reuven, when are they going to get fixed? Even Gehenom is not going to be enough. Because Gehenom, maximum you're there is for what?
1 year.
1 year. You can't be in Gehenom for more.
So why can't they fix everything in that 1 year?
You cannot.
No.
Because a laundromat, lemashal, you put oil stain in the laundry. You have a shirt has a laundry as an oil stain. You put it in the laundry. Is it going to come out? No. What do you need? You need some special detergent for that. Yes or no?
An Ibur, basically.
All right. You need an ibor. You need a whole lifetime of suffering. So what's better, to be in Gehenom for a year, or to be in a body?
Well, seemingly Gehenom is shorter.
Gehenom is shorter.
And it's guaranteed as opposed to this world where you can keep on going back.
Yes,
and
but
back.
actually don't forget.
But it's more painful, yeah.
I mean, Gehenom is more because it's a constant, right? It's more concentrated.
It's more concentrated.
Don't forget that when he's inside Reuven, Shimon also gets his mitzvot. So he's multiplying his mitzvot by thousands.
Right.
There's a famous story which I'm not going to get into that happened with the Alter Rebbe, I believe. I think how his father, his kudo, his in-law, one of his children's in-laws, came to the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad, and he told him, "What should I do? Should I come back?" He died. Should I come back in a Gilgul, or should I go to Gehenom? And he said, "Do yourself a favor, go to Gehenom. Don't come back here." Okay, but that's not for us to decide or to judge.
No, he explained it that the child feels so much pain when it comes down to this world.
Right.
Even a second of this world.
Right, it's a whole story. So it says over here, "Lo yeh l'olam shum tikkun el nefesh b'chol hagilgulim." Your nefesh would never have a tikkun that way. Sheba'olam ki le'olam ha'adam choteh. Look what the Amarchu says. The man is always sinning. It's impossible for a human being not to sin. Umosif psha'im al chata'av. And he adds pesha. Pesha is the worst kind of sin. Honest, what's chata'im? Mistakes. The more you come into Gilgul, the more averot you have, but doesn't it already become mistakes? Now they're psha'im. Harishonim, shikadmu lo begilgulim achim ve'en ketz. There's going to be no end to your sins. So what's the point? But now since ששאר חלקי הנפש אינם נוטלים חלק ברשעת הניצוץ הזה אלא בזכיותיו, now that Hashem made it in a way that the first body, his soul, doesn't take part in the new body's sins, only in his merits. נמצא שהעבירות נשלמים, we see that his averot get filled, that means he's done with the sinning. להתכפר, to be atoned, ואינם נתוספים, he doesn't add to them. והזכויות מתחדשים, but just the opposite. He's getting more זכויות, more merits. ונוספים בכל גלגול ניצוץ ניצוץ. And every גלגול is fixing another ניצוץ, another ניצוץ, another ניצוץ, another ניצוץ, till בעזרת השם, בילה המוות לנצח.
We say the same thing by Gilgul, by Averot. Averot that keep on adding, for instance, the suffering. That's why.
Just, the suffering takes that away. And Hashem made it in a way that he never takes part in Averot, as an Ibur. Right?
Eventually, there's going to be Averot after the suffering that are going to over. No?
So we're learning about, we learned last week, this is called Gilgul Hadome Ibur. What's a Gilgul Hadome Ibur? The guy, Shimon, can never leave Reuven. He's always in Reuven's body till he dies. But that's why it's a Gilgul called.
That's why I called it a Gilgul.
Yeah, but it's Domele Ibur. Why is it Domele Ibur? He doesn't take part of the Avera, just like a tzaddik when it comes to Ibur. Once you do Avera, what does he do? He disappears. So too, in our case, it's called a Gilgul Domele Ibur. Okay, this is the way God made the world, that the nefesh gets fixed by Gilgulim every single generation, every single reincarnation, until all the sparks are finished to be fixed. Merosh HaNefesh, from the beginning of the soul, va'ad ragleya, until the end of the soul. Because your soul, your body looks like your soul. Your soul doesn't look like your body, understand? Your body is a mirror image of what your soul looks like. Yes, that's why every Gilgul that you come, you have a striking resemblance. You resemble your previous Gilgulim.
We still say that you're not going to... Shimon will be Reuven, but Reuven's not saying that.
Right, because he's only made up of 100 parts of his spiritual DNA. And only then could Mashiach come. Like it says in Zohar, Parashat Pekudei, Ubesof Parashat Vayakeh. So only once all the sparks are being finished of these 6,000 years, only then can Mashiach come.
Can I have a comment on this?
Yeah.
6,000 comes?
Well, they say a little before. Well, Rav Katina says Shisha Afei Shaneh Ve'alma, right? Famous Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin. Of course, it has to come before. When is Mashiach gonna rule?
They say maybe like Mashiach could come, let's say, a couple thousand years ago, whatever the case was, right? So Mashiach can come any day, but that seems to be a false pretense because he can't come any day.
According to the Rashash, according to from seemingly, as we're going to learn in Shar Gilgulim, every day has its quota of nitzotzot that it needs to be fixed. You understand what I'm saying?
What happens to the that aren't fixed?
That's Be'ita calculation?
Yeah.
Then Achishena.
Achishena, hopefully, but what's Achishena? Achishena has to be a mass movement of Teshuvah.
Yeah, but you'd expect every...
As the Gemara says, Masechet Zohar.
What happens to sparks that weren't then?
That weren't fixed?
Yeah.
So we're going to learn Teshuvah is a time machine. It's like a spiritual time machine. When a person does Teshuvah, especially if it's Ba'ahava, from love, he goes back in time.
You're assuming everyone's going to do Teshuvah at the same time, which is not necessarily...
So that's what happened in Purim, right? Why is Purim a Chidush? Technically speaking, it was supposed to be Purim in 16 days, but we have 2 Adars this year. But what happened in Purim? Every Jew in 127 countries did Teshuvah.
Complete Teshuvah, every single
all
one.
At once, yeah.
Every single one.
Yes. Now your Teshuvah is not my Teshuvah.
100%.
My Teshuvah is not his Teshuvah. Everyone has different Teshuvah.
It's true.
Okay? So therefore, if that happens, what happened during Purim? Because of the whole story of Purim, Esther had a son called Daryavish. Daryavish built what? The second Beit HaMikdash. It could have been game over, but what happened when Ezra came to Eretz Yisrael? What did he find? Every Jewish guy was married to a non-Jewish woman. It was, people don't know this part of the story. The Jewish people at that time were in an immense downward spiral. The assimilation was like at over 80%.
So Worse than today.
Worse than today. In America, well, we did a shiur in that once, huh?
70%.
70%, but in the Orthodox community, it's about 10%, and but in general, in America, it's close to, in 2015, it was at 57%, something like that. Anyways, so only way to bring Mashiach, to fix the nitzotzot, to change the quota, is to make a mass movement of tshuva. Or one more Shabbat. But that's already a diak, right? Shabbat Tishmor.
I think it's Zohar now.
Is it?
It's Zohar, yeah.
Okay. So that's what the Ari is saying over here. The nitzotzot get fixed by the reincarnations, and Hashem wants that. Hashem wants that. Hashem chafetz leman tzidko. Okay? Amnam. So that's ibur gilgul hadome leibur. Amnam bebchinat hayibum enoken. When a person comes back, not in a gilgul, but in a. This is all. Well, under the context of Gilgul, right? Then there's something called Yibum. What's it? We all know what Yibum is, right? We don't have to explain it. Levirate marriage. Yibum, and it's so crazy, like when you learn Shar Gilgulim, like you look at the world right now, how did the rabbis, they just canceled Yibum. For the past 150 years or so, nobody has done Yibum.
Why did you do it?
He wanted to do it.
He did. He pushed it through. He left the bait until they started doing it.
No, he never did it at the end.
No.
Nobody has done Yibum in the past 100 and plus years.
People that do it.
Huh?
Some people that they don't do it.
I don't think anyone does it in the world.
The Amish do it.
Huh? The Am? Anyways, so we're going to learn what Yibum is. So it must be that the whole tikkun of Yibum has finished. What is Yibum? It must be.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
If the mitzvah is not applicable anymore,
Right.
it must be that there isn't a human that has a nitzot in his body that needs to be fixed by Yibum. Yibum is a mitzvah aseh, right?
Right, but it's on the person himself. He needs it. It looks like.
He's talking about the actual.
But as we learned in Shar Gilgolim, every person is made up of nitzotzot. Every nitzot has a tikkun. What's a tikkun?
To do what you haven't
To
done.
do a mitzvot aseh.
So you're saying every.
If Yibum has been cancelled, chas v'shalom, it's not cancelled, but they just for some reason nobody does it.
Every mitzvah has already
Yeah.
done it.
Oh, instead of Yibum, what is it? What are people doing? Chalitza. That means every person that's coming back in a reincarnation today and is in that situation
Didn't do that mitzvah yet?
didn't do chalitza, but he probably already did what? Yibum.
Chalitza is a disgrace. Like even the Torah
It's
says,
not about still a mitzvah.
it's a disgrace.
Still a mitzvah. It's like
No, that means it doesn't have to be done.
exactly.
No, just like all other mitzvot, right? And
Beit Hamikdash, bingo, and we're gonna learn about that. If the Beit Hamikdash, if there's no Beit Hamikdash, it means we did it. Yeah,
I like it.
we did it already.
I like it.
We did it already. You understand what I'm saying?
This is a mitzvah that's supposed to apply right now, and somehow they
Why?
say because the bad kavan Ashkenazim they more.
You're talking about Pshat now. I'm talking about Sod.
I know, what was the reason why they can nullify it somehow?
They nullified it because they thought that Chas
Bad
v'Shalom,
intention.
people were being lecherous. The same thing. The same reason why they canceled the mitzvah of marrying many wives.
And according to Allah, it was still supposed to be valid, no?
Of course.
Rabbah held like that.
Yeah, Elijah pushed for men to marry more than one wife.
Right.
He pushed for men to do yibum, but he wasn't successful.
But it's still technically halachically.
I mean, I'm not sure if a person does yibum today. I don't know what's gonna happen to him, because kol mekadesh adat rabbanan hu mekadesh.
So the rabbis are still gonna accept it.
I'm not sure if the rabbis would accept it.
Orthodox rabbi to do the
Maybe that's Ashkenazi. Bro.
I don't know, but whatever the case is,
not,
it's not done today. That's my point. It's not done. What's yibum?
not self-appointed.
Yeah. You're talking about the controversy of today. Who needs shows? You have a show, the Bahar community. Va'atam hu, I'm just joking, we're kedoshim mirechem imotenu. Va'atam hu lefi shemitgalgel lesivot acherot, one who comes in a gilgul for different reasons, mechamat kol shar averot b'Torah, because of averot. Yesh lo takana al yedei yisurin shesoveh b'olam hazeh. You don't have to go to Gehenom, guys. Yisurim is enough. So therefore, tzaddikim, when they used to suffer in this world, what did Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon, used to say? Bo ahai v'rai, come buddies. Come in the night, they used to make from him tkitke, as they say in Russian. And then he used to wake up the next morning, all of his bed was full of blood and fat, he was very fat. And very bad, but he wanted it. tzaddikim, they invited Yisurim. Why? Why go to Gehenom? And what's the biggest Yisurim? What's the biggest Yisurim? Busha. Right?
What busha?
Busha is embarrassment. Right? Busha.
3 things I consider present dead.
Yeah. Also that, but in that case, it doesn't stem with Gilgulim, because if a person doesn't have kids, for example, we're going to learn in Hagdama Yud Gimel Yud Dalet,
He can't have it.
he can't have kids, or he didn't want to have kids. There's Rav Agassi brings about 20 cases. It's not so good for the neshama,
Yeah, but
unless
like that one.
Ben Azai, he brings him down as an example. We're going to learn about him. It's a special case.
I'm saying
Okay.
everyone's possible to use the method of Ben Azai in their life. Like if you don't, if a person's
That's according to the halacha, the
No, not even according to Allah. But be like that derech of Ben Azai. Like create neshama of Gary.
You jump into Ben Azza, but you don't really much of a background on it.
I mean, we're going to learn what is create neshamot of Gerim Bichlal. We're going to learn about that, B'ezrat Hashem. It's a very, very high level. When I talk about high level, I'm talking about tzaddikim die, and then they do it in Shamayim.
Right, the 10.
Alright, this is a very high level. Ben Azai was on a gigantic level. So understand, he was a neshama that really comes once in a blue moon. And Rabbi Akiva was in that category. Abaye was in that category. But Ben Azai he did it while he was single. You know what that is? Nobody could have done that. Even Avraham Avinu had to be married to Sarah. But Azai was a very big neshama to create souls of Gerim.
Well, what does that mean, create, of course?
Souls of Gerim have to come from Kali Noga. They come from Kali Noga. Your neshama comes from Malchut, the sphera of Malchut. That means your neshama is Kedusha. The neshamot of Gerim come from Kali Noga. When our souls come to this world, your parents have a zivug, right? Correct? They procreate. That causes their shorashim to have a zivug too. Haka'ah, as we learned. Think? Haka'ah, binding by striking. And then the neshama comes out in the next world. And so too, it comes and we're all here. But neshamot of Gerim cannot come out like that. Why? What are their parents? Goyim.
So these are the parents.
Exactly. Rabbi Akiva is their parents. Ben Azai is their parents. Abaye is their parent. Well, or tzaddikim after their passing. And why do they need tzaddikim to do it? Because where do they come from? Kali Noga. They need tzaddikim to do it. It can't be just regular our parents, right?
They need them, the tzaddikim to take them out. No one else can
Yeah,
take them out.
tzaddikim to take them out.
So what's that level that you consider high level? Yeah, we know it's a high level.
I mean, I don't think we're talking about Gidolei Ador.
Like what do you do exactly to create?
Yehudi.
Well, then, is that the,
Yehudim is
isn't that it? No?
Yehudim is very high level. What Yehudim are.
It's the same thing as Yehugim. That's what it is.
I think you mentioned the Yehudim.
But before you could do Yehudim, you need to know how to, in general. You know when a person does Yehudim. Yehudim are
Unification.
unifications through meditation. Right? Before you do a Yehud, you need an immense hitlahavut. You know what hitlahavut is? Like excitement. You understand? You need an immense excitement. A person who's missing excitement, he's just doing yichudim. It's like a guy doing. It's like a guy. He's pressing on the code. He doesn't know he's pressing. You understand what I'm saying? There's no such thing a Jew is doing nothing. He's doing something.
But it's still getting to the destination?
Maybe nefesh benefesh. Say works for me.
For now, yeah.
But
Learning Torah is higher.
Rav Chaim Vital too. When he used to do Yehudim in the beginning, he didn't feel anything. Right? But you have to. In the Hasidic Sfarim they call it Yehuda Ila'a and Yehuda Tata'a. You have to know how to do Yehud Ila'a and Yehud Tata'a in general. You have to learn how to connect. What is your preparation to do Yehudim? What is your preparation to do these things? This is the highest level. What's your preparation? Hitbonenut, but where is the main Hitbonenut?
In different concepts.
But where in Tefillah is it specifically? What are all the Hasidic Sfarim? They
Shema or
and Shema.
usually Shema.
And Shema.
Yeah, the altar everything is down.
And Shema. Right, and Shema. When they say Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Did you ever read? You guys are getting me off on a tangent, but whatever. It's all Torah. So you ever read the Sefer guys, Magid Mishar?
Yeah.
Right? You ever read the Sefer guys? What's the one thing the Magid? It's a recurring theme in the whole book. What's the one thing the Beit Yosef, the writer of the Shulchan Aruch, he had an angel that came to teach him Torah. It's called a Magid. So this Magid keeps on telling him something. Besides for the mission, there is one theme that's always recurring there. He says, Shema.
Give up your life.
Yeah, always do Kiddush Hashem and Shema. Always do Kiddush Hashem and Shema. Do Kiddush Hashem and Shema. Shema. Because the access, what was Rabbi Akiva doing when he's getting his face torn off? Shema. What does a person have to do right before he dies? Shema. What's the first thing we teach our kids? Shema. What does it say by Yitro, the first ger? Vayishma. Everything. Shema. It's all a sense of, you have to connect to that deep sense of, you have to reach a point, before you do Yichudin, you want to level, you got to reach a point where you know, you don't just know that Hashem Echad. You have to feel it, you have to see it. There's one book that I'm going to suggest to you guys, if you guys really want to start on this path, this book you have to buy. It's maybe 50 pages. It's from the Admor P.S. Ezna. And this book is going to teach you how to clean your thoughts and to feel Hashem. He's going to give you a hadracha how to do it, step by step. Admor P.S. Ezna. His famous book is Chovat HaTalmidim, which is a bomb within itself.
How hard is it to read it? I mean,
It's not hard at all. Oh, B'nei Machshava Tova.
That you talked about yesterday.
Yes.
I think it's out of print, no?
There is 2 copies left in Gift World. B'nei Machshava Tova.
It's there first.
B'nei Machshava, who gets there exactly? B'nei Machshava Tova.
You never know.
Yeah, but the Feldheim, they print all of his books.
English?
No, it's in Hebrew. Chovat HaTalmidim has been translated.
I have.
Also, a Maspik Lo Avdei Hashem has been translated. Which Maspik Lo Avdei Hashem, if you're really serious on working on your midot, that sefer is a Maspik.
It's spelled out also? Or
Rabbeinu Avram ben Arambam.
Spelled out?
Feldheim, everything Feldheim, yeah. So, back to what we were talking about. We got off on a little tangent, right? But this is a very important. You want to start working on your machshava, b'nei machshava tova. You have to get this book. It's amazing. So a person goes over averot. What's his takana? How does he fix himself? Yisurim, suffering. Shesoveh bo'elam hazeh o begehenom. Or where? Our favorite place? Gehenom.
How come before Kriyat Shema we said we should get Yisurim?
Fine.
Well, like not bad Yisurim.
We don't say that. No.
What kind of Yisurim?
We said that we should get fixed not through Yisurim.
Yeah.
He says you should
So Rachamim is better.
Wait, he's not telling you that you need Yisurim.
That's what happens.
He's not telling you to ask for it. He's just, you want Yisurim?
No.
That's it. That's why you say it.
So Rachamim is
You don't want Yisurim, right?
Yes.
well,
Seems like it's good.
So now that you have knowledge, what are you gonna do about it?
Share it.
You know, Rabbi Yosef Dayan, he would purposely embarrass himself. Purposefully, he used to embarrass himself. He used to come to a crowd. Let's say Aravit was called for 9 o'clock. Let's say, he used to come specifically 9:15 when they already done with Shema. And every day the Shamish was a crazy old Shama. He used to yell at him in front of people. Every day you're late. You miss Baruch Hu every single day. And every day he used to do it.
But it's worth it to lose Baruch Hu and to lose the minyan?
For the embarrassment?
Yeah.
To his level, yeah.
No, he would first pray in a different
He would daven
minyan.
elsewhere.
He would daven elsewhere. He used to come just for the embarrassment. Because he knew the Shamish over there was a little crazy.
Okay.
but you could.
I never forget this. You're not on Rabbi Yosef Dayan's level. I'm just giving you guys a story.
You do this 2
you're
times,
putting
you
a
just
stumbling
forget
block
it.
on somebody.
No, you do what you gotta do in life. Hashem chooses that guy to be the messenger. That's his problem. That's his free choice. Okay? I never forget the story when I was in 8th grade. I had a Rebbe, a very interesting Rebbe.
Chasky, of
yeah.
course.
So he said, I don't know if you remember the story. He said the story of how one time one guy, it was Yom Kippur, and he opened up the Hechal, and as he opened up the Hechal, the whole parochet with the doors, everything fell. He turned red, white, blue, yellow, green, all the colors of the rainbow. And one guy comes up to the guy, it's Yom Kippur, says, I'm so jealous of you. You know what you just went through on Yom Kippur? Gehenom. It means you're free. The whole year you're free. You're good to go. That's more, it's like from Shammai, you're ben olam haba. Now, I'm not telling you guys to ask for these things, obviously.
But if it comes, you should be
But if it
happy.
comes your way, you should be
You
happy.
shouldn't be upset, you're saying.
Anytime you get embarrassed in your life, right away hold yourself, don't answer back. And at that moment, bless somebody.
What is the
Yeah.
purpose of the
Can you
suffering?
bless
Sorry.
yourself?
The
Huh?
purpose of the
Yeah, of course.
suffering
It's to fix the averot.
Isn't it more of like a humbling type of characteristic for us to develop and consider himself
If
nothing?
you're gonna get to the level where you
No one
worked
can
on your
get
kaas,
angry. No one can get
yeah.
angry.
If you worked on a level where you don't get angry in your life, and somebody tries to get you angry and you don't answer back, not because you're holding yourself back, but because you just lost that attribute of anger. That's the highest level. That's the highest level.
So that's the whole point of these stories.
That's the whole point of getting married. Yeah. That's the person. When your person is married, this is this is
The lesson.
the lesson. Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Sick.
Amen.
So, but it's the greatest work on your midot.
This is the road to Gan Eden.
This is the road, exactly, the road to Gan Eden. Why? Because, like the Bach says, the Bach in the Even HaEzer, it says, technically speaking, men and women are not supposed to be married. We're two species. The Gemara says, Nashim, Am B'pnei Atzman. They're their own nation, they're their own species. Right? However, Hashem says you have to break your nature and work with the opposite species. And that's the way you're going to grow up in Avodat Hashem. Okay? Like, I want to tell you guys this story yesterday, but I didn't say, but the gist of the story was that when a person gets married, this is when all of this comes into play. Because now it's not just Sipur Dvarim. It's not just a story. I'm working on myself. Now, whether you like it or not, you have to work on yourself. This is when it comes into play. This is the Hari Avodah. Because you're not just working for yourself, you're working for someone else. So, like the Gemara says, famous story of Rabbi Yehuda Anasi. He was from the children of David HaMelech, right? David HaMelech had many sons. So the Gemara comes like Ketubah, Samech Bet, Samech Gimel, brings down a story over there how Rebbe had a son and he wanted to marry to Rabbi Chia's daughter. Rabbi Chia was one of the biggest tzaddikim, Gedolim Ma'aseh Chia. So Rabbi Chia, they made the Kanchori and she died. Now what's going to happen if she died? What are you going to tell your future kudos? I'm sorry for your loss, this and that. You know what Rebbe said? You know why she died? It must be that Hashem didn't want our families to mesh together. There's something wrong with your family. Whoa, it's crazy. Well, look how the Chachamim had foresight. So they dug, they checked, and they found out that Rabbi Chia comes from the family of Shimei, the brother of David HaMelech. Royal family, but from the brother. And Rabbi Yehuda Nasi comes from Shefatia ben David. David had a son called Shefatia, the judge of God, God's judgment, and he comes from him. Because I come from David's royal line, I cannot marry my son to a person who comes from David's brother's line. Doesn't go together, so Hashem broke the union. Crazy. So who did he make Kanchori then with? Rabbi Yossi ben Zimra's daughter. How did the Kanchori go? How does Bukhari and Kanchori Shinchori go? We buying the family the one necklace gold and have to show to the whole world like this. We getting them $10,000. We getting them this. We getting them the house. What was their Shinchori like? We support the Chatan for 13 years. Let him go to yeshiva, learn Torah. So the son of Rabbi Yossi says, I want to see my wife before I go. That's how dating went back then. That's how dating went. There was no dating. You meet for a common purpose. You have the same purpose. That's it, get married. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? So he saw her. He said, she's too, I like her too much. I don't want to go for 13 years. 6 years. Okay, 6 years. 6 years, still a lot, right? Then she passed by him again. He says, you know what? I can't wait for the 6 years. I want to get married now. Everyone's looking at him. Hi. I see you getting a little excited here. You saw the girl twice already. You want to get married? So you got embarrassed. Why? Because he's the son of the Gedol. He's the son of the Nasi, and he gave up 13 years of learning Torah to marry a woman. So what did Rabbi Yehuda Nasi? And he got embarrassed. Or what did Rabbi Yehuda Nasi tell him? The father told the son, you have inside of you da'at koncha. Your creator's mind frame just went inside of you. Why? First, when we pass through the sea, it says, Migdash Hashem konenu yadecha. God said, when you get to the promised land, build me a Beit HaMikdash. And then afterwards, when we get to the desert, God wanted us so much, He said, build a Mishkan right now. Don't wait till you get to Eretz Yisrael. I want the Mishkan right now. I want to be with you right now. You're the same way. You saw your girl once, 6 years. Second time, you already want to get married. They did the Shinuchuri. They did marriage right away. Shalom Barachot. He left. He did what he had to do. And he left. 13 years he went. He didn't see his wife for 13 years. That's what's called the Gemara Pat Besalo. The Gemara says once a guy is married, he doesn't think about women. It doesn't apply for our days. Back then, you used to be with your wife one time, you were good for 13 years. You were satisfied for 13 years.
What happened to the wife? She goes to her parents' house for 13
No,
years?
yeah. Back then, they used to live with the in-laws. So he comes back after 13 years. She can't get pregnant. The Gemara says a married woman who's without her husband for 10 years, she can't get pregnant anymore. That's what the Gemara says. So he comes, and now we have to get divorced. Poor girl, Migdash Hashem, konenu yadecha, shachati b'tochav. The poor girl's akara. So Rabbi Yehuda said, maybe we should marry him another woman. He's gonna have 2 wives. One her, and one that has kids. So he said, no, we're not gonna do that. Why? They're gonna say this poor girl is his zona. It's the lashon of the Gemara. She's she's his side girl. What is this? Embarrass the girl like that? So Rabbi Yehuda says we're gonna pray for her. They prayed for her, and she has kids. And the line of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi continued. It's amazing. The story sheds light on what a marriage is. Just the avodah. Today, people want to break up with their spouses for a paper cut. Something's not good. The avodah is in marriage. Why? L'shem yichud kudsha brichu shchinteh. You're dugmat kudsha brichu, and your wife is dugmat shchinteh. That's the whole avodah. So too, when you learn Shara Gilgulim, you know when you're going to finish your nefesh? What's nefesh? Nefesh is the Shekhinah, it's the Malchut. What's the Malchut? It's your other half. She's your Malchut.
So when you do Biyah, that you're trying to say you completed?
You're on the right path.
You could get your ruach before marriage, though.
You're supposed to. You're supposed to. But obviously in our generation where everyone's Bi'ir
It looks like once you get your ruach, you get a new zivug. No? Once you get your new ruach, you get a new zivug somehow. Then we see that from Sefer HaChezionot.
We have to Sefer HaChezionot. If you want to learn what happened to Rav Chaim Vital, we'll talk about that one day. But let's stick to the Shara Gilgulim, the Pshat over here. It could be a person could have many zivugim, but he only has one, main one. As we know from David HaMelech, he had one woman that's meant for him from the 6 days of creation. But don't forget, he was a new neshama. Okay? Let's get. It's 10. We have 10.
No, we have 9.
We have 9. Maybe put on the chat.
Did.
One more from Marv. Let's go a couple of more lines. We didn't do that much today, so let's go a couple more. So the Yisurin fixed the Nefesh. I said the Yisurin is, we know what it is. Therefore, all the parts of the soul, they don't need a Gilgul, but an Ibur. Because enough. For the suffering, all you need is what? An Ibur. But that soul, that part of the soul that didn't do the mitzvah, only he comes back in a real Gilgul. A person who comes in Yibum, why does he come in Yibum? Because he died without sons. Oh, person who died without kids, chas v'shalom. Harei hu ki'ilu lo hitzliach klal ve'ikar. It's like he did nothing in life.
Why don't we do this anymore?
Did you hear what he just said?
Have kids.
If you don't have kids, ki'ilu lo hitzliach klal ve'ikar.
Why don't we do them anymore?
Isn't that obvious?
We already talked about that before you got here. Ki'ilu lo haya ba'olam. If you don't have kids, it's as if you didn't even live. You didn't live in the world.
So all
I'm saying your history is gone, like,
Yeah.
because you didn't continue.
And plus your real testimony.
Isn't that crazy? I used to have one guy in the shul. How did I scare him into getting married? I said, "You want to have tichat mitzim? You better get married." He says, "Why? What do I need?" I said, "You think all your mitzvot that you're gonna do? Say bye-bye to them. It's gonna go to the next body. Your body's gonna be kalev avid." He said, "Why? Who do we learn it from? The king, Chizkiyahu. Ki met ata. The prophet Isaiah told him, "You're gonna die. Velo tichiyeh. You're not gonna live. If you're gonna die, obviously you're not gonna met ata be'olam hazeh. Velo tichiyeh le'olam haba."
But through these classes, we learn
Yeah.
that my body is not that important.
Yes,
So
that's true. But your body worked for it.
But it's in the avodah of
it's
this
all
world.
about the neshama.
Yeah.
Transferring from
But
one
once you go to the next body, you're a different person. You're a different human being. Now, I don't want to get into what your body is made out. We're going to learn that too. Your body.
We're being selfish then.
Yeah.
This is about continuation and maybe making Hashem's name.
Yeah. Great in the world.
Yeah.
But then you're saying something, but I don't want to get into it right now. When the Beit Hamikdash was destroyed, you know what the Jews said? We're not going to get married and have kids anymore. It's Gemara like that. They wanted to make a takana like that. For example, one of the takanas was you can't listen to music anymore. Back then, chatanim used to wear crowns, golden crowns, when they used to get married, like tefillin. And one of the takanot they wanted to make was no more marriages, no more kids.
Suffering so much, that's so.
They were very, very in pain. And the Chachamim canceled that out. They said, no, you need to have kids. You see, if you want to make Hashem's name great, the only way to do that is in a family setting. Only in a family setting. If I'm alone on a Shabbat table, what's the test? Of course you're going to be holy. You have no test. You understand what I'm saying? But if you have somebody always, like always, this and this. Like one guy was telling me the other day, my wife tells me, we're sitting at the Shabbat table, my wife tells me, I tell my wife, could you bring the food? Next. My wife tells me, what am I, your slave? I'm going to take out your food for you? Go take it out from the oven yourself. You know what happened to that guy? All of his kavod in front of his family, Ephes. Finish. He has to start from the beginning now. And what did he do? Olam omed blima. Bolem piv. He has to... You know what kind of tikkun that is? That's straight Gan Eden. Straight, one-way ticket to Gan Eden. That's the tikkun! You understand? Why did... Even the first death in the world happened because of what? Because of marriage. What do we always talk about? Marriage. Marriage is very important. You need to get married. It's, yes, selfish. You're allowed to enjoy. Why not? It's the first page of Misat Yesharim. But don't forget, marriage is just another mitzvah. It's another mitzvah. And it's very important. It's the first one in the Torah. Okay? וגוף הראשון כאילו לא היה, נזכר בשביל וישב, ולכן צריך שהנפש האיש שהיה בגוף הראשון, בכל חלקי החוזר, if a person had no kids, the first soul that was in the first body, let's say Shimon over here, has to come back in all 200 pieces. מחדש, לצורך עצמה. וגוף השני זהו גוף העיקרי. Now the second body is the main body now. You back in this case, the first body was the main body because he came first. The second body was a secondary body. Now if a person doesn't have sons, doesn't have children, now the second body is the main one. וכשנתקן בו ויפטר מן העולם הזה, בעת תחיית המתים לא תשוב הנפש כי אם בו. He doesn't get up in תחיית המתים. A person who doesn't have kids doesn't get up in the resurrection of the dead. That's very big incentive, no? You want to get up, you worked, your body is a very holy thing. The Mittler Rebbe says, in the main Shorish in Shamayim, your body is actually on a higher level than your soul. Why? Something that's higher falls lower. So your goof is something, and we know that in Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes's Torah, it doesn't say kotnot or. Adam HaRishon had kotnot or with a skin. What did it say? Kotnot or with an aleph. Adam HaRishon's body was originally made up of light. Okay? Not nails. You know why it looks like nails? It hardened. And it turned into nails. Understand? But this was not, his body was not nails. It hardened into nails. Alright, there's a whole thing about it in the Otzrot Chaim. It's Chaim talks about nails. And it's important. Nails are holy, by the way. They're not, when are nails bad? When they are overgrown. When they're too big, then it's bad. But nails like this, it's Kedusha. It's protecting your body, by the way. Because where does the Satan suck from? The edges.
The toe.
Also, the toes, forget about it. The legs is always in a state of Tum'ah. Even in Tilat Yadayim. Where does it work for who? Kohanim only. Only Kohanim could be Mekadesh their legs. Beit HaMikdash.
How come the mikvah can't get rid of it?
The mikvah does get rid of it.
It does.
Of course.
Shabbat,
No, on Shabbat you could do it without a mikvah.
Get rid of what exactly?
The Tum'ah that's on your legs.
Oh,
How do you do hot water? By washing your legs with hot water, but there's a kavanah you have to do. You have to think of shalhevet yah.
How? In the shower? How?
So obviously not in the shower.
Aren't you exposing yourself outside again?
Where?
By walking? You're generally walking. You're the mabit.
Right. So on Shabbat, for example, there's a big machloket. Is the ruach tum'ah on Shabbat? Like the nitilat yadayim we do on Shabbat. Does it include the reason of ruach tum'ah, or it's because yadayim maskaniyot hin? It's a machloket ben mekubalim. It's not our subject right now. Maybe one day we'll talk about it. So we're gonna end over here today, and we're gonna return next week, B'ezrat Hashem, bli neder. I don't know yet what my schedule is for next week, but B'ezrat Hashem, I'll see you guys next week, and we have bracha. Huh?
we're gonna finish this.
No, we're gonna end over here, okay? Because I want to go back. I want to do a little chazara next week. Hashem shall bless all you guys with bracha, atzlacha, parnasa tova, yeshuot gedolot. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Huh?